Hello and welcome back to another episode of Crypto Genesis. My name is Nico van den Berg, and today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you like the content, please leave us a like. And for those of you who are subscribers, as you can see in the background, we're at the new house. So we've been moving recently. That's why I haven't been posting as many videos. I'm trying to do a video every day, but sometimes life just does not allow it. So I'm on Bitcoin right now. I'm on a 5-minute chart. I have no idea why. Oh yes, I was just checking something actually. And what I'm going to start with is the daily chart. So when we're looking at the daily chart here, we can see that we eventually broke to the downside, and Bitcoin is finding some level of support around this green zone we've got in here. We can actually extend this green zone. And this green zone right here is something that I'm going to be looking at over the course of the next couple of days or weeks even. Because what I want to see from this green zone is maybe a potential bounce. We will have a bullish divergence on the RSI, or actually it's not divergence, actually convergence, but they're going towards each other. So we could see a bullish, I'm just going to say divergence playing out inside of this green zone, and perhaps we might respect this trend line running through here. So this trend line I'm getting from way back here, we can see it is acted as support a couple of times, and as well as resistance right there. So I'm looking at this trend line possibly being a level of support for price when price does come back down. So I'm short term, I'm definitely bearish on Bitcoin. I still think that we have some downside, like I've been saying. I did take a very good short position up here when we got to the top, took profits down on the way. And also I took a couple of day trades in here. So this has been a favorable market for traders, but not so much for investors. Um, Unless I'm a firm believer in Bitcoin, and I have been for a while. So I have Bitcoin stashed away, and because I'm a firm believer in it. If you're one of those people, then this market is a little bit of a bummer. But if you're a trader, you could have hedged yourself all the way down and protect your portfolio value. So it's been a good ride down. We've been shorting Bitcoin for a while, making some decent profits. And I still think that short term that we could go lower if we break this trend line to the downside. I would expect us then to come and test uh, maybe this trend line. Could be this trend line. This could be the trend line to stop us from going lower. And it kind of does line up with our green zone here at the bottom. Remember, I'm looking for anything from $6,200 all the way down to $5,500. That's my zone that I'm looking at. So if it does come down, it probably will find a bounce here, and somewhere inside of this zone, I'll be looking for Bitcoin to make an official bottom. But if we do get that bullish divergence or convergence here, I think we'll have a bigger short-term bounce, maybe come and test up here again, or the upper resistance trend line. So time will tell. That's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin on the weekly chart right now. Looking at the moving averages, we are losing the 100 exponential moving average, and this is this red moving average on the screen. And since we're losing that one, if we close the next weekly candle below that, which is this week, we still have a lot of time though. So, but if we do close below that, I will be looking for price of Bitcoin to come back down into this green zone right here. That's where I'll be looking for Bitcoin to come and potentially put in a bottom. I think at that stage we might put in a bullish convergence or divergence, depending on whatever makes sense to you. I think if we can see that on a weekly chart in this zone here, that would be for investors as well a very good time to take a very long-term position. And that would be a sign that we're probably going to continue to the upside. If we do break this formation to the upside as well, I do see this as a falling channel. Some people see this as a bull flag, and if the bull flag does play out, we should end up in this green zone up here again, around about $18,000 a coin. So when that happens, we want to be a part of that ride up. So we're going to trade it for sure. But first, before we can say that's happening, we need Bitcoin to break the upper trend line to the upside, close above it on the weekly chart, and perhaps come back down a little bit as a retest, and then continue to the upside. If we can see that kind of move play out, then we're definitely in for a little bit of an extension to the upside. So that's Bitcoin. Let's quickly look at some traditional markets. Here's the Dow Jones. Dow Jones has made it up into our green zone actually this week. Actually, I think it was yesterday. Today, we almost made it all the way up to our green zone. If you haven't taken profits yet, we've taken profit off the table. We took stop loss to break even, and we've just been seeing how much profit we can lock in on this trade. Right now, it's probably a good time to start looking at definitely closing all of the position. The reason why is that we are definitely putting in some bearish divergence, and in this case, it is divergence because the highs are going away from these highs. So I would expect this probably to continue to the downside now and make a little bit of a deeper correction downwards. So the Dow Jones has been a very good trade. I can delete this now. We'll definitely close our positions out on that. Gold, that's been very interesting as well. We've been in that white zone that I've been talking about, and it does look like we're trying to put in a little bit of a top here. So if gold can continue to the upside, I'll be expecting a move breaking out of this trend line up here. And I'll be expecting a move actually as high as around about $1,659 an ounce. That's obviously not going to play out in a week or a day or even a month. That's going to be a couple of months worth of price action. I'm getting this from the weekly chart, looking at this as a bull flag and this downwards channel. Very much similar to the Bitcoin chart right now. So I do believe that the lowest that gold can go or would go is about $1,400 an ounce. But we'll have to see what it does from here. If we get a massive rejection from this area again, I would look at this as a supply zone. So a lot of sellers in this zone. And I would be looking for us to come back down and test the next demand zone. And wherever that's going to be, there's going to be some buy orders waiting there. So I want to see what it does over the next couple of days. If I see a very good opportunity to short it, which kind of already is starting to play out. It kind of does look like gold wants to short, but I'll have to see how we react from this area. Do we go up or do we go down? So gold is possibly going to push lower. Let's have a look at the other traditional markets. Let's look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is kind of still moving sideways here. Definitely time for us. Oh, this is not NASDAQ. Okay, that's why I'm so confused. There we go. There we go. Okay, NASDAQ. Okay, this is interesting. NASDAQ has broken this to the upside, but we can see a very clear rejection from this top. And are we putting in bearish divergence? Yes, we are. So I do believe NASDAQ is in for a deeper dip. I think it could work its way back down to about 102.02, around about this green zone right there. And if NASDAQ does push in here, I'll be looking for a continuation trade to the upside. So depending on how this daily candle closes, of course. So we'll have to come back to that one. Let's look at the NAS 100. We hit our target to the upside on the NAS 100. we took some profits off the table inside of this green zone a couple of days ago, actually last week. And it looks like we're going to continue to the upside, but probably a good idea to get out of this market right now. I do think we're in for a little bit of a correction. We are seeing same thing here. We are seeing bearish divergence. So it does look a little toppy to me, and I expect it to correct to the downside. So if you're in this trade, take profits off the table, same as the Dow Jones, just take it and leave. Okay, so here we go. This is very interesting. The UK 100 has broken to the upside. It came down, tested our support, was held up by our support, and continued to the upside to break to the upside. This is a breakout. So we can see that we closed the daily candle above this descending trend line, and a measured move will technically still take us up to around about 7,691 pounds, I would assume, because that would be the measured move from this. You could call it a symmetrical triangle, whatever you want to call it. I would just call this a consolidation period. And after this, we have a clear support around 7,433. So I would maybe look for a retest to that area and potentially go long on this and target moves up to the prior highs and ultimately all the way up here at about 7,808 pounds. So that's the traditional markets. I don't think there's any more. So as a summary, just quickly for Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin short term is coming much lower, not much lower. I think Bitcoin could be coming lower to this trend line, and I would like to see what it does at this, on this trend line, if it respects it or not. If it does, then I would expect a bullish divergence here, a very clear one, if we do come back lower, and a potential long position could be opened here if that does play out and we do see the bounce. And I'll be more than happy to manage some risk from this zone right here. If we can see a little bit of a lower price, I would look at about $6,513 as the low range. I would be looking for a test back down there and potentially a buy, a long position. So that's it for Bitcoin and for all the traditional markets. Thank you so much for viewing this video and tuning into the channel. And if you're a trader out there, remember to trade in the green. So cheers, bye-bye.